we'll put it like that.
Nice.
What's it like? I was actually there in attendance in Cleveland for Coe's first career NFL touchdown, which was awesome. And,
Awesome.
it was a great game. You could hear me on camera. I was just screaming, "Say it ain't so, Coe! Say it ain't so!" Sadly, from there, the game kind of went off the rails a little. That was the last high moment of that game, but it was a great game. Overtime loss, fun time.
Yeah.
How was that moment for you? Seeing the first, whether it was on TV, in person, wherever you were, seeing his first NFL touchdown. How was that?
Well, dude, I mean, we were at home because it was a away game. We don't travel to a lot of the away games because we can get into that later. But, to watch that and to think I wished I was there live. So to have your video was so cool. And just that, hey, this is so cool. I mean, that was so cool for us. Catching it from Tom Brady, right? Like, he's got the ball yet. I mean, first NFL touchdown means a lot, right? I mean, as a dad, that's so cool to see. And it was fun to watch. And, yeah, it didn't have the outcome we wanted, but still the same. What a memory. What a memory to have, right? So,
and honestly,
cool.
those one of the best guests ever, the Buccateers in the house tonight. You guys hear him on Tampa radio all the time. He's one of the best in the business. My favorite personal in the business. That's why I'm elated tonight. Growing up in the Chicago area, you're used to sports radio. That's what gets me through the day. So this man does help get me through the day, I will say, with the Pat and Aaron show at work. Nothing like it. So it's incredible. It looks like we got Stunna bumbling in. I'm Tampa Tones. We are joined by lead goon tonight, host of the Pat and Aaron show of WDAE, Pat Donovan. And it sounds like Stunna is bumbling a little bit. Going to put him on mute for a second until that gets a little cleared. But we're joined by Pat Donovan.
It looks like Stunna's hanging out with Cheech and Chong in a car with the windows up or something over there.
It does look like you got a little...
No, my camera's broke.
And he was trying to pull me in big time. And then I was like, hey, nothing's happened with Indianapolis yet. Like, I really want to give Indy a chance. And then also I talked to Cody Bruton. Once he took over Rick McCann, I'm still like, well, look, I was like, y'all just give me the opportunity to explore free agency, see what's going on, and then come out and make us do it.
All right, everyone, you are tuned into the Buccateers, a wide receiver, Kalen Geiger, and we are about to have a great pod. This is the Buccateers. You're tapped in, and here we go. Howdy ho, howdy hey, how the hell is everybody? Welcome in to a Saturday showdown, soon to be weekend NFL kickoff, but it's still the weekend to sports kickoff as we reside. We got about 3 more weeks before it's our kickoff to NFL weekend, with the preseason right around the corner, college football week 0 right around the corner. We already got a great chat going. JC Allen saying acknowledge him. Yeah, we'll acknowledge you one day, Pell, but we love you, JC. Trisha, the great Trisha Scott, we love our lady listeners, saying good morning and happy Saturday. Happy Saturday to you as well, Trisha. We hope you are doing well this morning. Bob, man, let's go. Yes, sir, let's go. Christopher Cole welcoming into the show this morning. Of course, the great Cleve and me. Saturday. Yes, sir. Speaking of Cleve and me, we'll bring in the host of Cleve and me as we speak. Joins us every Saturday and more. Joey Nips of Cleve and me. Joey, how the hell we do?
Cheesing, brother. Cheesing from ear to ear. It's a good morning. It's a good weekend, and feel fresh today. That's what it's all about, gearing up for the next couple days ahead of us with baseball and wrestling and so much more. I'm looking forward to it all and can't wait to break the great sport of football down. Is what I think we're 19 days away from preseason game 1, I believe, on July 31st.
Yeah, it's a couple Thursdays away. It's really crazy to think about at the point how quick it's going, how fast it's going, but no better season like it than the NFL. And we're here to talk some other fun sports as well. JC Allen, what a crazy weekend in wrestling. I thought Formerly an AEW hater. We'll see if he actually tunes in today or not, but we'll see. It is a crazy weekend indeed, JC. We'll talk about that. We're actually going to talk about wrestling shows and more today as we get into things as well later on in the program. Right now, we're going to start off with some Buccaneer talk as we usually do. Joey, I'm going to pull up the date. I made an episode way back in the day saying possibility of new uniforms coming for this Tampa Bay Buccaneers team. That was, let's see if I could even find it on the fly. But nonetheless, we've been talking about it being a possibility. Now it's confirmed in days. Yes, you got that right. In days, I believe on 7/15. So that would be what? Tuesday, I believe. Yes, Tuesday is the 15th of July. Creamsicles are getting released, and not creamsicles of what we're used to, not the beautiful orange creamsicles, but we're also reviving the white creamsicles, the road creamsicles, the ones that people really love and like as well. We're just paying ode to 50 years of Buckball, and I think that's one great way to do it, Joey, is by helping pay tribute to that by wearing some beautiful new old jerseys.
So I might have missed. Are they doing one orange and one white this year for home and away, or just the road one?
It sounds like they're definitely doing both. It sounds like one and one, probably. The orange one's going to be a tough one because it's a double kryptonite. We always suck in the orange creamsicles. And on top of that, we play in them in primetime Thursday night football against Atlanta. We always suck in primetime as well. So we're going to look to buck two trends. The white creamsicle date isn't announced yet. Two rumors for it are either home against the Jets for our home opener, week 3, because we wear whites at home for heat advantage purposes, or another rumor is if we wore it on the road, either again or as a one-off at Seattle, because it's their 50th season in the NFL as well. So if you celebrate 50 with both squads, you have Seattle where they're home throwbacks and the Bucs wear their white throwbacks. So Jets and or Seattle, it sounded like, are the possibilities.
Yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong. I remember maybe it was their last win in the orange. Did Josh Freeman and the boys beat the Packers with the?
Yes, sir. You're not lying. We were at the end. That was the last Bucs game I ever missed. Arian Foster ran crazy that day. We were at Colts Texans in the cheap seats, but not cheap at the time, obviously. When you had Peyton Manning running the show, there were no such thing. But, that was when their stadium was newer, too, and it was really hard to get tickets. Arian Foster was a big deal with the Texans, if you remember. So, I remember that. I remember that game greatly. I think the Colts ended up upending the Texans. The Bucs ended up upsetting the Packers in the creamsicle. Now, yes, we've worn the creamsicle the past 2 seasons again, but both have been not the best of defeats, right? So we're 0-2 since the creamsicle has returned. We have not played good football since the creamsicle has returned, but maybe the white creamsicle turns around. Joey, what I'm looking for the most, sadly, your patch is for a little different story this year. You guys are going to have the Jim Irsay patch, which is more of a sorrow and saddening patch, but it's a memorable one to say the least. The Bucs are going to have their 50th seasons patch this year, so I'm looking forward to seeing how that patch looks on the white creamsicles as well. I think that'll look really neat. And kind of talk about both patches, sadly, the Bucs and then the Colts.
Yeah, I mean, very different in their own way, but at the same time, when they put the patches on the jersey, it's for some good reason or another. 50 years for the Buccaneers, and then for Jim Irsay. That's why I don't know. I don't know my exact predictions yet, but both of these teams are going to have really good seasons. Not saying how far each will go yet. We have plenty of shows to do so. But when you have remembrance of 50 years, when you have your great owner, Jim Irsay, who really brought Indianapolis Colts football, I say again, it's special, right? And you just go look back on all the good times. You brought up Peyton Manning a little bit. I brought up a creamsicle game from the past 2. So a lot of good memories. We could talk on and on and on about forever, but I really feel good about this season. Unfortunately, I know we'll talk about later, injuries do happen and they're coming in already. But let's try to limit that the rest of the way when training camp comes in about 9 or 10 days, yeah?
Yeah, the Bucs are going to have to shore up a big one, and that's no pun intended, but it is a big one. Joey, Tristan Wirfs, one of the better tackles and one of the better O-linemen in all of football. made switching from right side of the O-line to left side of the O-line look very easy. He's in jeopardy of missing a handful of games. And Olivia joins saying, good morning, Areola brothers. Christopher Cole comments, 10 days until camp. Time is flying by. Could you believe that? 10 days until camp. And we will be without Tristan Wirfs in that camp, Joey. And a little bit of a side note, but for Cubs fans out there, it seems like they're giving a mental reset for Matt Shaw. He's out of lineup again for consecutive days. I know.
Trade for a third baseman, please. He could be our utility. That's what was on my wish list.
Sadly, we had one. I know we had to get Tucker to get him, but
oh yeah.
Okay, so Joey, real quick, I found the first time I tweeted about it in March, but April 9th, I dated the Buccateers' new Bucs uniforms. That was April 9th. So here we are, April, May, June, July, 3 months later, and now it's official. Pretty cool talking about that beforehand. But yeah, Tristan Wirfs, Joey, thoughts on him missing? I know you've had to deal with some big-time injuries to start Colts seasons before. Anthony Gator was on the pod the other night and says it's one of those things where, sadly, you got to have the next man up mentality. That is true, right? As Brian Crook joins us as well, the Brothers Abyss. How the hell you doing, B. Crook? We hope you're doing well, brother.
Yeah, I always said it on this show and others. The last thing you want to hear about in the off season is injury. So it's very unfortunate when these things happen because it could leak into the regular season. I remember last year during training camp, Josh Downs took a hit and you missed 2 or 3 games. And yeah, I'd rather it be now than week 1 or week 2 because then it really leaks into the season. So do it right, get Wirfs healthy. But those first few games, you just can't look past when there's only 17 of them. This isn't the MLB or the NBA or NHL where, okay, you miss a week, you recover and you got a lot of games to go. This is everything matters. Everything's on the line. So at this point, though, just get him healthy, get him right, and make sure when he does return to the field, there's no ifs, ands, and buts about it.
Exactly. That's what you got to do. You want to be smart. You got to be smart with not only a high-paid man, but a very good player as well. So they're going to see what they got to do. And speaking of seeing what they got to do, we get a comment now about Chris Godwin. Do you guys know the update as of right now, or has anything changed on Godwin's return? I don't think anything's changed. I don't think that's good or bad news necessarily. I think the plan is to let Godwin come back and not rush this thing, right? That's why they drafted a guy like Emeka Egbuka, so they could have insurance policies. And remember last year, just because they drafted Egbuka doesn't mean that as a change of Godwin's injury status. I think some people got that wrong. What that means more so is insurance policy and depth policy for multiple reasons. Last year, Ryan Miller was the only wide receiver on this Buccaneers team to stay healthy the entirety of the season. You just simply can't have that. You need more bodies back there. We went to Monday Night Football, Kansas City, Joey, myself, Pops, and some other great people. You didn't know who the hell was running routes out there. Well, I did, but the general fan would be like, who the hell is running these routes? So one of those things where Godwin will be back, ladies and gentlemen. He'll be back probably, if I had to guess, and I have no knowledge of this or anything, but just based on what I know about his injury, based on his return in the past. Remember, we rushed him back once before. He got another injury week 1. He had to have a minor setback. So, Mr. Magic, I'm thinking probably week 5, week 6. I'd put around week 5 to 7. We see Chris Godwin. I think he misses the first quarter to third of the season. And I think we see him healthy finishing the year with this Bucs team and easing him back in. And I think he does have some big plays. I think he regains healthy because modern medicine is crazy and you bounce back quickly these days. So I'd say about a mid-October, early to mid-October, the month of October, we'll say. I'd see Chris Godwin. Joey, any thoughts on that about his estimation of his injury?
I mean, it's always tough, right? He got hurt in that Monday night game against Baltimore.
Remember in the weaning seconds of the game, it was like, sheesh.
Yeah, I know. That always is a killer, and people look at that in hindsight and blame people. It's like, it's a part of, football. Things happen. Yeah, I mean, in terms of fantasy, don't forget, especially if I'll take it just from the fantasy side. Remember, when he gets back, it takes a little bit here when you have an injury like that. So let's say Tone says, week 5 or 6 or something like that, to get the real stats going, you're probably not going to see it until the back half of the season. So if you have that affordability on your bench and you're strong at wide receiver, to me, you take Godwin and let him rest up there. But if you're thin and you're going to overdraft, I would reconsider, because it could be 5 to 6 weeks before he's back in a Bucs jersey, but it could be 10 to 12 weeks before he's making huge fantasy impacts.
Again, and I agree completely, and that's what's
he is
true.
A different player a little bit, of course, I know, but
it's the same with guys trying to, like a Darren Waller, right? Coming out of retirement, he's going to be slower. It takes guys time to bounce back, whether it's from injury or retirement. So yeah, Godwin's fantasy impact might not be seen till halfway, second half of the year. We'll see. The only good thing, I mean, the Bucs have so much weapons that you could still create some lanes, but we'll see. But I'd say in October, because he got hurt week 7 last season, as Joey alluded to on Monday Night Football. So I think it'll be around October. And I wouldn't mind a wait, right? Maybe he could go in mid to late September, but why rush a guy? And then next thing you know, you might give him a worse injury. So I think you play the waiting game with Godwin, let Ibuka get his feet wet. You still got Jalen McMillan. You got the Hall of Famer Mike Evans.
And use the dang run game a lot more now early, especially with Wirfs being out. It takes a little longer to maybe do better at the pass, since he's such a better in that position there at left tackle, solidified. So get the 3-headed monster going and just make plays on the run game. You don't need to be pass heavy to start the season, especially in my eyes.
Yeah, I agree with you completely there. You have Bucky Irvin, you have Sean Tucker, you have Rashad White, still a Buccaneer. So one of those things where you got to hold strong, toe the line with the run game. And even with Charlie Heck, as Christopher Cole says, Heck is better than School. Bucs upgraded their O-line depth. Well, that'll be seen. I think School played an admirable job when he had to fill in for the Bucs last year. Obviously, Hutchinson ate his lunch. I'm not going to lie about that. I think he had 3 sacks against Justin School, but you expect things like that when you have backup tackles playing. I do think Charlie Heck will be better. I'm not saying he won't. I'm in agreement with you, but I'd like to see it on the field personally. I watch his film in his couple past seasons, and he looks good when he plays. He's a good swing tackle, no doubt about it. So we'll see if he could fit in, because I remember we signed some swing tackles in the past. The one who actually ended up catching a touchdown for us, he didn't have that great of a year, though. Then you get released a year later. It's just one of those Joe Haig, that was. Remember, he went back to Pittsburgh. Then he caught a touchdown.
Colt too, I think.
Yeah, he was. We actually signed him from the Colts, and then I was amped about him. And he wasn't terrible, but again, just you had higher hopes for him, and he was really good with the Colts. So you never know how guys fit in until they're actually on the field playing with their new team. As we transition from football to wrestling, eventually we got a wrestler making comments on a football player, Joey, and that's one of my favorites ever. Well, one of my favorites speaking about one of our favorites. I guess one of our favorites speaking about one of our favorites. The Miz was on the great Dan Patrick show the other day, and Dan Patrick show is, if none of you watch it, I know Tampa area has it on the radio daily, but phenomenal guests. I mean, this guy gets Adam Sandler's of the world, Vince Vaughn's of the world, Miz's of the world. He had on a legendary NFL player who was at the, because it's a Players Open in golf this weekend. He had
I did see Miz is always in that one. Aaron Rodgers was there.
Yeah,
McAfee, I think, is there. Big Cat from Barstool. I know that.
Oh yeah, Barstool made an announcement live on the Dan Patrick show saying I forget what, but yeah, Joey, Barstool was there. A lot of people were there, but The Miz was there. And The Miz was on the Dan Patrick show, Joey, and pretty much said, the Browns getting rid of Baker. I'm pissed, man. I'm pissed because I miss waking up every morning knowing that our QB was pissed off every morning, right? Feeling dangerous. That was Baker's exact quotes. He said he woke up every morning feeling dangerous. That's the type of stuff you love to hear as a football fan. Cleveland went from a guy who would put the city on their back. This guy got Cleveland free beer, Baker Mayfield. Remember how bad they were? And then he won the game for the first time in seasons. They gave the whole city Bud Light. yes, I agree. Kevin Carberry is going to coach him up. And the UDFAs. We have Chuck Wuma, Majors, other UDFA linemen who could get coached up. But Joey, now if you're a guy like The Miz, you see what leadership was like under Baker Mayfield. And then you see Baker Mayfield in Tampa. Now you see Deshaun Watson and Ugly in Houston. Didn't play the entire last season he was in Houston. And now comes to Cleveland, and the man can't stay on the field for better or for worse, mainly for injuries. But he's had, the fan base, he just completely lost. So thoughts on the Miz's comments, and Big Rican, friend of the show, thinks like that as well. Do you think that's how all Browns fans are feeling at this point?
Absolutely. I texted you the other day at the gym. I saw a Browns Baker Mayfield jersey. And when you win a playoff game for the first time in how long, especially in Cleveland, where people, if they know the history, the Guardians are now the longest team to not win a World Series. Cleveland Browns haven't won many playoff games. That's a big deal. They went to Pittsburgh, where it is very hard to win before these last few years where they haven't had QBs. And they tore them apart. So an injury, it's a shame. And I totally agree with the Miz, because Baker Mayfield, of course, he had his lumps and his struggles, but at the same time, continuity was lost. He was recovering. He's on bad teams like Carolina, things of that nature. When the Rams were very hurt, he was put into a bad spot there. And here we are now. So you only can feel for the Browns, because now they have 5 quarterbacks in the room. And usually when you have 2, you have 0. When you have 5, I think you have negative at this point in time. So the Miz is awesome. Baker Mayfield's awesome. And Cleveland knows it.
Yeah, we're going to have fun here. We're going to start a little goal. 1 super chat, hopefully, we get today. We're going to put our goal in the comments of trying to obtain 1 super chat, where Joey and I are talking all wrestling and NFL and other things. But yeah, I think Cleveland, man, their next step is important for them, not to get too far off into Cleveland here. But man, if they drafted 2 QBs now, and I don't think either of them will be like Baker. I don't think Shador or Dylan Gabriel have what it takes. I think the Bucs got the better Sanders. And we'll see. JC, if you want to hop on for some wrestling talk, we're going to get to it here shortly. I know you asked to send the link. I'll see if I can or not. We'll see. But no, I'm kidding around. Joey, if you could pick, we're going to have some fun now. If you could have 1 Indianapolis Colt become a wrestler, could be anything. Could be AEW, could be Impact, could be WWE. We asked this question about the Bucs players a couple of years ago. Now we're asking about the Colts players. What say you? 1 Indianapolis Colt who you think would look really good in the wrestling ring. And it can't be Baron Corbin because, well, he was a Colt and was in the wrestling ring. But some examples, right? You had Brock Lesnar do both. Baron Corbin did both. Dino Madden did both. You've had Rob Gronkowski do both. You've had superstars who have done both wrestling and NFL. Mongo McMichael, probably the most notorious one who's done both. So it's one of the more crossed over sports. I'll say that. I'll definitely say that.
Yeah, and I'm between 2. And since you mentioned companies, I think it fits well to put one of these in each from the offense and defense. I would put Michael Pittman Jr., a lot of you know his father, of course, from the Bucs days. I would put him in AEW. And why is that? Because he's a scrapper. He's always fighting. He's always sticking up for teammates on the field. He'll get in his scuffs. Even in training camp, which starts soon, he'll be getting into it with the defensive backs. He already did in mini camp a little bit. So I would put Pittman in AEW because in ring, they do a lot of great things over there. And then on defense, I would put Big Rover Stewart in WWE. I think he'd be a fan favorite, big guy. They used to love the big men there, especially. I know that's a little changed now, but I think Rover would be good for entertainment and many other roles as well. So I'd put Pittman in AEW and Big Rover Stewart in WWE.
Love it, love it, love it. Yes, we did. Not that it's needed at all. Don't feel obligated, but we did just open our goal of 1 super chat in this episode today. So if we can get that, that would be incredible. I like the growth. Awesome as we get. Oh boy, opposite of awesome. Oh Jesus, we got JCL and OTC number 3. I call it. How are we doing? OTC 3.
OTC, or is it TC1? What are we doing here now?
Hey, well, what R2D2, whatever the hell the case
Whatever
might
we're
be.
doing. MJF, MFT,
Yeah,
BFM,
did you see that
BFT.
shirt? Did you
Yeah.
see the WWE shirt that copied MJF but just switched the letters around?
Legit. It's WWE, man. I don't know. It they've got to get their shit. They're bastardizing their product. It's just getting too much with all the with everything, really. I mean, there's no time to let anything breathe. There's some stories that are going on that have been going on for a while, but with all these PLEs and Saturday Night Main Events and everything like that, it's like we're going every 2 weeks with a big wrestling show, but there's not enough builds. I mean, Randy versus Drew, that should be good with more builds, and
Trish versus Tiffy time at the same thing.
more
And
builds. And they're doing
I
like the Jade Naomi thing, and that's been going for a while, right? And that's
Yeah,
a good
that one,
slow
yeah.
build. And there's a couple good slow builds. The Seth in LA is a faster but slower build that's going to pay off, I feel like. But everything is just boom, 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 and then let's slap a logo on everything.
Yeah, and I think that's a great point, and I think that's where a couple people forget. First of all, I'll give you a warmer welcome. Welcome in, JC Allen. How the hell you
Appreciate
doing,
ya.
brother? But I think that's part of the problem that when they went under the TKO umbrella, the TKO kind of tried to cookie cut UFC type schedules, right? But UFC, you don't really need to build stuff. You kind of make a date for the fight and it comes up and whatnot. WWE is a little different. Wrestling, I should say, is a little different. You got to let storylines build a little more organically. But they're all over the place, man. I can't keep up with how many live shows they have nowadays. It's a good thing that more wrestling's on, yes, but at the same time, if you're not building it properly, it's hard to keep score at home. But we do have a huge wrestling weekend today. We have 3 shows. Tomorrow we have a show. We have a lot in store. We're going to talk.
Monday,
Yeah, Monday it goes. Well, Tuesday. I mean, then you could say
Wednesday, Thursday,
Yeah, I don't know what day
Friday.
it's on.
It don't stop. It don't stop.
It's why it's so hard to watch everything, man. Like I want to watch TNA and I want to watch AEW, but I'm like, I can't even keep up with NXT Evolve and LFG, let alone throwing in AEW and TNA in the mix.
And don't forget about the speed matches too.
No, just speed. Can't forget those. At least those are 3 minutes. They're quick. It's Luca is fun to watch no matter how long she's in a match for.
While we have the fellas here, we're gonna switch to full-time wrestling talk in a moment, get our predictions, buzz going, and so much more. But quickly, JC, we talked about the white creamsicles, which I went back in time. We had a podcast April 9th where we
did. I would listen to it. You were all over it, my man. Kudos to you.
Hey, sometimes being a Jersey guru pays off, but what can you do? But between that and the Wirfs news, just kind of thoughts on the Bucs as we put a bow on Bucs talk here, brother.
Yeah, I mean the white creamsicles. I mean, let's go. What are we doing here? You got teams that have like 4 or 5 different jerseys out and stuff like that, and the Bucs have their great pewter jerseys that I don't know wear anymore. So it's like, let's get these back. I think the road game is the best because I would love to see those classic Seahawks jerseys and the classic Bucs jerseys. But I understand for the Jets too. I would get that. You want to give that at home, but I think that's probably going to be an away game. As far as Wirfs, it sucks. He's your best player in the team. You're losing him for probably at least a minimum of 4 games, but you have to have trust and faith that the Buccaneers feel like with their coaching staff, Pacucci and Carbs, who have you can talk to any of the guys, like talk to a guy like Luke or Tristan, even Cody, because he was here for that final season with who are they? Carolinas. They were here.
Oh yeah, the guys they took. They hired a couple of our.
I can't think of their names right now.
Yeah, it's right on the tip of my tongue.
But anyways, like even they said like the difference is like night and day. Like not that they weren't good coaches, but just the way they teach, the way they has made a huge difference. And you saw that in the jump of everyone's play.
Joe Gilbert.
Yes, Goody and Gilbert. Yeah.
Yeah.
But even like you looked last year. I mean, Luke Gedeke, probably a top 5 right tackle in the league right now. I mean, it's hard to make a point that he isn't. Cody Malk, huge leaps and bounds jumps in year 2.
And especially towards the end of the season, there was only a handful of right guards in the league that was playing at a higher level than he was. Graham Barton hit that rookie wall, but for him to do what he did as a rookie just speaks again to the moving from tackle in college to center. Speaks to the level of coaching that he received that year. So you have to have trust that they're going to get Heck ready. They're going to use Otten over there a lot more. I'm sure the original plan was Bucky to be that starting back and let him feast, but now with Wirfs out, you're probably looking at a more even split there, at least to start the season, because Rashad White is the best pass protecting running back in the league. So, it hurts. It's going to make things difficult. You look at the first 4 games and people are like, oh, yeah, the Jets, whatever. But, I mean, they've got Quinnen Williams, Will McDonald, Jermaine Johnson. Like, they've tough edge rushers that they're going to be facing those first 4 weeks. And it's going to be on the onus of the coaching staff to get Charlie Heck ready on Grizzard to put develop game plans where he's not going to leave him alone on an island. And that was, everyone goes back to that school game against Hutchinson. And that was probably Liam Cohen's biggest mistake of the year, even though they won that game, was thinking that school was okay to be on an island by himself. So Grizzard's, he was on the staff. He's going to be able to make those switches. And as I speak, Josh Capel, our good friend, another friend of your show, he's on X right now, putting out where school was before he came here versus where Heck was. And Heck has a better pass rush win rate and all that stuff. So it's going to change the way I'm sure Josh Grizzard wanted to step into his first season as an offensive coordinator, because he's going to have to change up his philosophy for those first couple of weeks until Wirfs is back. But I don't think it's doom and gloom. I don't think it's the end of the season. I don't think it's, the season shot. You got to come out of that 2-2. And if you do, you're fine. But it's certainly not excellent news to be going into the season without Tristan Wirfs and possibly without Chris Godwin, 2 of your best offensive players.
Yeah, never a great thing there, as we are joined by the great JCL and Joey Nips. Joey, any last questions for JC on football's front before we pivot to some wrestling talk? As James, Nancy, Vera, and more are joining us live on Facebook, we appreciate it.
I would just say this. I bring it up all the time, but I say there's nothing more painful than when injuries happen, especially now. I guess could be better than week 1. But JC, when you're going through training camp and all this and you're checking in every day, isn't it just probably one of the worst things you could do is look at your phone and it's hearing about a Bucs player, seeing it live on the field when you're there? I mean, to me, there's nothing worse during the summer. Tristan Wirfs, example A of getting an injury during this time of year.
I'll give you the perfect example. I was right there front and center when Ryan Jensen ran down and had to run back to the media room to write the article that Ryan Jensen was being carted off. I mean, it's never good to see. And it's become different for me too than when I was just a fan of the game, because now I've developed relationships with these guys and I know I actually see the work they put in, and I hear, everything, and I talk to them, and when they go down or when their season's over or when they get injured, I'm not feeling just for the player or for the team like, oh no, the team, what are we going to do? Now it's like, and it should be like that all the time, but I mean, sports is,
the fans treat it as pawns, moving things around.
Right, exactly. Now, it's devastating for the player, and it's devastating. I feel terrible for them. So it's never something you want to see. Hopefully, the Bucs have been pretty good. Hammy, soft tissue injuries have been their Achilles heel, their crux for the last, I don't even know, probably before I started covering the team, those damn hammies. But other than that, they've been relatively, as far as devastating season injuries, unless it's been a freak injury, a la Bryce Hall or a la Chris Godwin, they've been pretty good at maintaining the players to the point where if they do get injured, it's not something that's going to keep them out for extended periods of time. They've got a good, despite what many fans think, they've got a really good training staff that keep them pretty good and going strong.
Yeah, armchair GMs always think they know best. It's not always the case, right? You think you see these injuries piling up, and it's not always at the fault of the men behind running the medical division, the team doctors and all that. And they do their best, man. They don't want to see these guys get injured either. Why the hell would they want to see more injuries happen? So
I think the big thing that came out with Tristan Wirfs' injury was, why now? Why would you wait, right? Why would you wait this long to go for surgery when arthroscopic surgery is very invasive surgery? You know, it's something that is boom.
And they found more damage by scoping it out, right? That's where they found more damage.
Right,
even.
and then they found that extra damage. So that's why, and you know, again, go back. This happened in week 10, the MCL. You know, and you know Tristan is probably. I mean, look, Ryan Jensen made the same decision, right? He wanted to rehab instead of getting the surgery. It cost him his career. You know, Wirfs wanted to rehab instead of getting surgery, and then when he went to go get it cleaned up, they found a little bit more, and bada bing, bada boom. So.
Yeah, well, we'll see where that stands. And JC, real quick, not long on this because we have a lot of fun wrestling talk to talk about. Wow, Cleve and me. Look at that super chat right there from Cleve and me.
Didn't even know how to do it.
Well, hey, I mean, if you guys want to keep them coming, keep them coming. Yeah.
Hey, I've never done it before, so I figured if I'm ever going to do one, it's going to be on this good show, okay?
Hey, if anyone else sends a super chat, you can DM me on Twitter and I'll do a one-on-one with you. So throw out some questions. I'll answer them to the best of my ability.
We'll have to, you know, that sounds fun right there. And the good type of one-on-one, you know, we don't mean anything rated R here, but
or rated X.
Degeneration.
Well, maybe. I mean, maybe depends on who slides in the DMs.
This is the show that keeps an open book. Okay.
Yeah, if it's Cleveland me, Nipsey Hussle, you might have a little Nipsey Hussle.
Hey, JC, I said about we had a question earlier. We had a questioner as Ndamukong Suh officially retires as well. Kind of saw that coming. He hasn't played in a while. But JC, 30 seconds or less. We had a question on Godwin. I said sometime in October would be my thought. What say you on his return?
I have no idea right now. They are so close to the vest on this. There's nothing even like sprinkling out, no news or anything. But I would think right now. I would think he goes on PUP, right with Wirfs. And we'll see. We'll see him. God, just damn it, James. I think he goes on PUP, and we'll see what after week 4 if he's ready to come back.
But JC, with my last thing on that all is okay. So we have a couple injuries, a couple things here. Is there anybody like there's always somebody in Colts camp who I call they get the summer award for they make a few flashes, couple articles go out, people are all over them. And then the regular season comes by and the guy just sometimes disappears. Sometimes they do make the scene. But do you have a name you'd want to throw out there that you could see that, hey, a lot of people don't talk about right now, but he might do some spectacular things here in training camp or preseason?
I feel like Zion McCollum's still not getting enough love, man. I really do. I think he has the potential to turn in a Pro Bowl season this year. You know, you can make the argument for any of the offensive linemen too. You know, like they just don't get enough love. But, you know, Savassi Dennis is another one that people, you know, I think that they're really because they don't know, they haven't seen it over a full sample size, and he's been a little banged up. But this team is loaded, man. There's a lot of players on this team that are good. I mean, if you're saying like the opposite, like Jalen Darden or Trey Palmer last year, like who's the guy who could like just kind of shit the bed a little bit? Man, I don't even know that.
Too many stars.
Yeah, maybe Tyke struggles at safety for a bit.
Yeah, one of those things I got to decide who the hell's White Creamsicle to get. That's my biggest dilemma out there right now. You know, I got to get my paws on one. Me and J-Lo were thinking of doing Tyke and Winfield, but I thought like you, JC. I'm like, Tyke should be fine, but you never know if he struggles. You never know. But we'll see. We'll see. Okay, boys, we're going to start getting some fun wrestling talk. And usually we do Pigskin Hot Potato, JC, which is 60 seconds. Or I start the stopwatch. I give you guys each a football question, and you get 60 seconds or less. There's no timer on the screen, so you got to be mentally prepared. And if you
got to just tell me when to stop, man. You know.
Well, yeah, I'll cut you off real good, buddy. We'll put it like that. But
I don't got a slew of hosts, man. I got to run a show myself, man. I just talk.
Yeah. Hey, that's what's good about guys like us. We could talk and talk and talk. There's nothing wrong with that, right? But you do look like Liam Cohen a little bit in your picture there too. So no wonder why you're good at talking, my friend. There we go. But
Hey.
all right, JC, Joey, we're gonna start this. JC, I'll let you know when to stop. But instead of pigskin hot potato, we're doing wrestling hot potato right here, right now. Joey, we're going to give you the first one to show JC kind of how it's done a little bit. Joey, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, 60 seconds are left. Wrestling hot potato. Let's hop into the ring of wrestling and see what we got. Joey, there's a lot of rumors of potential ladies returning tomorrow at WWE's Evolution. You got AJ Lee. I mentioned one yesterday. Paige. You got a handful more. If you could pick one outside non-signed WWE gal right now to make a return and stick in the company for a time period to come, with all these rumors flying around, who are you going to lean with in the world of wrestling joining in the WWE's ladies division?
Since I missed most of her time when I was in high school and college during her main wrestling days, I'm going to go with AJ Lee, CM Punk's wife. And the reason for that, again, not only didn't get to see and enjoy a lot of her, I think she was one of the first people who bridged from divas to what women's wrestling is today, meaning more in-ring moves than in-ring showing off, even though all the great bodies they have. I think AJ Lee brought it to the next level. And I just really, even if it's just for, a few times, 6 months to a year, she's not, over the hill by any means yet, and probably could do some great things. She's had a lot of time off. And yeah, I would love to see AJ Lee definitely try to get into this as well.
Perfectly done. 50 seconds. I do have some breaking news that's sad. Former NXT wrestler Knuckles Madsen killed in a shooting, just reported right now. Former NXT star Knuckles Madsen passed away. He was 41 years old. Nothing much more I could see right now. He wrestled in NXT from 2012 to 2013, primarily performing on house shows and dark matches. Following his WWE departure, he continued wrestling out in independent circuits. So sad stuff there. Former WWE talent leaves us far too soon. Knuckles Madsen, rest in peace at the age of 41. JC Allen, we're going to go with a lot of shows today, JC, so we'll just give you a fun one. This weekend in general, you got NXT's Great American Bash, AEW All In, WWE's Saturday Night Main Event, WWE Evolution tomorrow. If you're a newbie wrestling fan, just kind of give newbies a little rundown of the excitement or what's to be had this weekend with those 4 shows, brother.
Yeah, AEW All In is their WrestleMania. Huge matchup lineup tonight on the card. Really excited to see, or this afternoon rather, Kenny Omega Okada is going to be a great match. Mercedes Moné, the CEO, versus the timeless Tony Storm will be an incredible match as well. They've got some Casino Gauntlets match. MJF's going to be taking part of that. A lot of great matches on that card. A lot of titles up for grabs. If you're new into wrestling and you're in it purely for the wrestling, AEW is going to be where you want to go. Great wrestling, not great stories all the time, but definitely great wrestling, and it's going to be showcased today for sure. If you want to get into some developmental type stuff, NXT Great American Bash is going to be on. Sol Ruca is a phenomenal performer, one of my favorite in NXT. She's going to be performing there with her North American Championship on the line. There'll be some other great matches as well. Check that out. And then the Pierre de Resistance tonight is Saturday night's main event. They brought that back. Goldberg, his retirement match against Gunther, the big Austrian or wherever he's from. World Championship match is going to be a fun one. LA Knight, is going up against Seth Rollins. Again, it's a short match card, only 4 matches. United States Championship will be on the line as well, with Solo Sikoa going against Big Jim Uso. And then on Sunday, WWE Women's Evolution, or Evolution, however you're calling it nowadays, is WWE's all-woman pay-per-view, or PLE, and there's going to be a ton of excellent wrestling going on. Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley for the championship. Trish Stratton versus, that would be a good one, versus Tiffany Stratton for the championship. 20-woman battle royale featuring Nikki Bella and a plethora of other superstars is going to be great if you're into women's wrestling, which is at the peak of its industry right now. Checking out that all-woman card is going to be great, and then follow up with what happens on the recap on Monday Night Raw.
Wow, what a guy. That was, a couple minutes.
It was not 60 seconds.
No, we morphed it. I gave you a loaded question.
You gave me a long one. That was like 2.
I did, and I know how. Yeah, exactly. So I gave
All
you a
right,
little
my
bit
turn
of
to ask you something.
All right. All right, let me get the clock going, and I'll start the timer when you ask. All right.
Tampa Tones, this is a big week. You're a big fan of WWE and AEW wrestling. So for you, what is your must-watch PLE? Because there's 3 of them this weekend. And what is your must-watch match and why?
I'm going with All In because that's their grand mecca in AEW, and I think they do have a phenomenal show on tap for this weekend. As you said, Omega, Okada, they've gotten numerous 5-star matches wherever the promotion was held. So that's going to be an incredible one. I am looking forward to WWE Evolution as well, the all-women's PLE. They've taken some time off now from having that. I believe the last one was 4 or 5 years ago. So it's like the McDonald's snack wrap, right? It's gone for a little bit, then it comes back, and it tastes just as good because you haven't seen it in a while. So looking forward to WWE Evolution. If I had to rank him, I go All In, Evolution. Then Saturday night main event for me as a fan at home. You barely get to see anything on TV, which makes sense because it's NBC in a main time slot. You get a lot of commercials. I am looking forward to Goldberg's match, because I like Goldberg. We'll see what he has left in the tank. But I'm going with AEW All In, Evolution, and then followed by Saturday night main event. And then I'll eventually watch a replay of Great American Bash.
What's the match to watch for you? You got to pick one.
I do, as much as I love, and I did talk it up a little bit, as much as I love the Okada and Omega one, I think that's going to be, again, a 5-star match. I think it's going to be phenomenal. As much as I'm looking forward to Goldberg's final match, as much as I'm looking forward to watching Trish Stratus in a ring again, because that's always incredible to do. The one match I'm looking forward to most, honestly, because I think all hell can break loose, or I think it could be one of the better things they ever do. 2 matches I'll go with on All In. The one's a tag team match, Swerve and Will Ospreay versus the Young Bucks. I think that's going to be good. I think that's a lot of talent right there. I think the Young Bucks are one of the better teams in the world of wrestling. They're some of the better heels in the world of wrestling, and Swerve and Ospreay are 2 of the top competitors in the world of wrestling. So that's going to be really good. I'd keep my eye on that one. And then somebody mentioned it earlier as well, Timeless Toni Storm versus Mercedes Moné. I hope they have Timeless Toni Storm come out on top with the win. I like Mercedes Moné more. I love both these ladies. I like Mercedes more, but please don't have a Hulk Hogan, Jeff Jarrett type of WCW moment of years old where they just have Jeff Jarrett roll over in the ring and give Hogan the title belt. Damn it. I don't think that's what people want. I know Sasha has a ton of belts, but leave one on Toni Storm. She's doing her thing good over there. So that is what I would say, Mr. JCL, and I'm looking forward to a lot of wrestling this weekend, and I'd probably mention those in the top of them.
That was longer than mine.
I'm the only one that followed the rules here.
Well,
you rate him, he doesn't follow him.
The first one, I was within 60 seconds, and you asked the damn follow-up, brother. So
all right.
You 2 settle this. I'll be referee.
Hey, that's fine. As long as you got your shoes on, you can ref, all right?
All I know is this is awesome.
J-Lo's watching from Frozen right now, probably.
I thought he was in his closet. He got out of the closet last podcast. I was so proud of him. I was there. Tones knows. Tones watched me from the beginning. I was in the closet for a long time before I moved out. Now I'm out in the big studio. It's actually still a closet though.
You went
If I
from
walk in, I converted.
you went from the standard closet that opens like that to the walk-in closet, but you
Right.
know you're
You
improving.
upgraded.
I'm upgraded.
So we're gonna do it like this because there's so much damn wrestling to talk about this weekend. We're each gonna get a show, and we're kind of gonna go like that, comb through the show. I'm gonna do a round table, and we'll go from there. Joey, you're gonna get Evolution. JC, you're gonna get Great American Bash.
No, I don't know enough about that. Give me Saturday night's main event.
We're only gonna ask one from that. You're mainly gonna get Saturday night main event.
Okay.
But you're gonna get a squirrel just because there's not enough matches for main event to match up with the other ones.
Gotcha.
And then I'll kind of handle some all in. But we're only gonna go over a handful of big matches from each. We're gonna give our predictions and highlights of what we're hoping to see. And JC, we're gonna start off with you. Let's rip the Band-Aid off right away. Goldberg's last match tonight, main eventing Saturday night main event against Gunther. Is there any chance that this is not Goldberg's last match?
I don't think so. There's no. I think you should have done this match without the championship on the line. I get it. I just want to see a good match. That's all I want to see. I want to see Goldberg take some bumps. I want to see. I don't want to see him dominated. I want to see him get some good licks and really present a challenge to Gunther, even at his age and at his limitations. I mean, Goldberg has always been limited, but I think this is it. It's in Atlanta. You know, he's been talking about this for a couple of years now, wanting to have his retirement match. Kind of was whining about it. Oh, get my retirement match. So now he's got his retirement match. I think it will be a good one, if not for the crowd is going to be absolutely electric. It should be one that everyone kind of can buy into the storytelling that they're going to do. Although it probably won't be much because it is Goldberg, but it's the end of an era. You know, there's very few of these guys who are still wrestling when it was WCW versus WWE, and he's one of the only ones left, especially who is at the top. Rock still comes back and does some stuff, but if you're looking back then, at the top of the top was Goldberg, Stone Cold, Rock, NWO, and you know, it's the end of my childhood pretty much with Goldberg retiring officially, and I just can't wait to hear the music. I hope he comes out with some security guards. I can't wait to hear the stands, the fans in the stands chanting Goldberg. It should be a great fun match, not a great 5-star match, but a great fun match to end off his career. It should be his last one.
Let's send out Goldberg right on the right foot. Joey, tomorrow night, WWE Evolution, 7 o'clock Eastern, taking place in Atlanta on the Peacock Network. Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, Women's World Championship. Io Sky currently the title holder. How you see it?
Yeah, this will be also the main event, as they called last night on SmackDown. So if you're wondering what it is, it'll be Rhea versus Io. Rhea has not beaten Io Sky in a singles match yet. I think that ends tomorrow. I think Rhea Ripley gets over the Schneid and brings home the gold, and will be one of the better matches probably of the evening. These two have good experience in the ring going back before their NXT days even. And again, Rhea hasn't gotten off that Schneid. I think tomorrow's the day.
Yeah, I could see that happening in totality. Wow, we got a little rebuttal. Let's see what happens here. I'm going all in. That's my prediction. 3 o'clock Eastern, Texas, Globe Life Field in Texas. You could watch this one on pay-per-view as well. FTR versus the Outrunners in a tag team match. I think FTR is going to win this one. I think they're going to build up their momentum. The Outrunners are still a younger tag team, a newer tag team on the way up. Yes, it could put them over if they do get this win, Turbo Floyd and Truth Magnum. But FTR kind of needs it right now. They're in a place where they haven't won a big match here in a little bit of time now, and I think they need to win this one. Remember, they had that storyline with Cope that didn't go too far, and now here they are with these guys. So that should kick off the pay-per-view. And I think FTR wins. Back to JC with Saturday night main event, which is tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern on NBC, taking place in Atlanta. JC, Seth Rollins, LA Knight.
Yeah.
Where are you heading in this one?
It's going to be Seth Rollins, and it's probably going to be either DQ or a dirty finish, unfortunately. But I love that LA Knight's getting to work with Seth Rollins. During his promo last night, he was talking about, I'm going to tell you, and he almost said SummerSlam. He said Saturday night's main event. He's like, Saturday night's main event, and it got me thinking that whatever happens tonight isn't over. It's not done. This feud is going to continue into SummerSlam. I think you'll get an LA Knight, Seth Rollins, maybe a rematch SummerSlam or something along the lines of that. Because right now, Seth doesn't need to go after titles because he's got the Money in the Bank. So, he's always a threat. He doesn't need to be the guy right now. So, I think that's going to be a very entertaining match that unfortunately gets ruined by the I don't even know do we have a name for this group yet? I mean, I love it. Three of my favorite wrestlers in the WWE right now, and Paul Heyman, I love it. But he'll lose because of that, and maybe we'll see the return of the tribal chief tomorrow night to break some shit up.
Very good possibility. Is our guy Neil L says, yes, sir, Neil to you, my friend. Joey, we're going to go with Naomi, Jade Cargill, no holds barred match. And we're doing 5 matches each. So this is round 2 out of the 5, and then final words and outros. But Joey, no holds barred, Jade, Naomi, what say you?
Yeah, and if you watch WrestleMania Night 1, you might not have thought at the time that this was going to be one of the better matches, but it actually was. As mentioned, Naomi's getting into one of her final runs. I know she wants to start a family with Mr. Uso. So she's the Money in the Bank. She's doing a great job being a heel, and I think this no holds barred match could serve them both very well. I still think Jade has to win at the end of the day because, like JC said, when you have the Money in the Bank like Seth Rollins does, you don't necessarily always need a title or the victories. I know he went with Seth, but in this case, I think Jade has to kind of win because she is Queen of the Ring and she's going to have a SummerSlam championship match. So what would be the point of having her lose this one now? I think they could both come out looking really good in this no holds barred type without, Naomi winning. So I'll go with Jade.
I agree.
I agree there as well. I'm only doing this AEW match to give Joey some fun. We bring the boom!
Oh my God.
We bring the boom! Here comes the boom. Big boom
jelly roll
AJ.
crap. You're going to talk cool about these guys.
Yeah, at least they're consistent and
No,
they maintain.
I'll do
jelly roll looks
all
like
day.
a jelly donut that got chopped in half.
He lost a lot of weight.
He looks good.
Yeah, and again, still nobody wants to see him in the ring.
Nobody does. But, I mean, this is classic WWE. I mean, before TKO. Cyndi Lauper, Mr. T. This has been going on.
Donald Trump.
This has been
Mike
going
Tyson,
on forever.
Yeah.
This is what people
Mike Tyson is a multi-sporter, Mike Tyson is...
Yeah, he was Bad Bunny.
Yeah.
Yeah. But again, those guys, Bad Bunny was at least, one-off type stuff. They're not doing too much. They're trying to do too much with Jelly Roll. It's like this guy came out of nowhere all of a sudden and he's getting in the ring. It's like, what the hell
Hey,
are
I
we
was
doing?
at SummerSlam last year when he threw a nice
he's
choke.
been there. He's been there for a minute now. He's been around for about a year and a half, 2 years.
Yeah, making an appearance a year for 30 seconds. Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's what you want for the brand. Anyway, Big Boom AJ and the conglomeration taking on the Don Callis family. And I'm just not a big Don Callis guy personally. I like his character because he's a good heel, right? He gets the crowd going. He gets people booing him. But I think Big Boom AJ with the Rizzler, with Big Justice, holograms on their team, Kyle O'Reilly, Tomohiro Ishii. Again, they're taking on the Don Callis family with Hechicero, Lance Archer, Rocky Romero, and Trent Beretta. Give me Big Boom, AJ, and the conglomeration in that one as we keep this wheel spinning. Back to Saturday night main event with JC Allen in the house, Sports Illustrated's finest, JC Allen. If you're watching live on YouTube, hit the like button, subscribe, turn that notification bell on, please. JC, Solo Sikoa versus Jimmy Uso for the United States Championship.
Some more tomfoolery is going to happen here. There's no way Big Jim leaves this match with the United States title around his belt. Not with that 7 foot nearly 7 foot tall Kalatonga Hikuleu, with Botchmaster Tama Tonga, and,
Come on.
and Jeff
Fact.
JC Mateo Cobb. They're not going to let him win. It would have to be something along the lines of like a quick roll up or something like that. And Jimmy steals the win and runs down, and the referee brings him the title at the top. It's going to have to be something like that. And I don't know if that's the direction you go right now. I think if you're building the MJF family up, then like that's what you want to do. You need to build this MJF family. MFT family, whatever it is.
Tomato.
If you're building it up, then you need to build it up and make it to be a credible faction that can destroy people. Have Jimmy Uso laid out, have Fatu come out and get laid out, and
I did love MJF. I loved MJF. He quote tweeted the shirt too and said, "I do have some Samoan bloodline in me, but I'll let this one slide." He made even a joke at it too.
But yeah,
funny,
this is Solo Sikoa's gonna keep it with some tomfoolery. There's gonna be a lot of tomfoolery last night. If we know anything about the last Saturday night main event, there's gonna be some tomfoolery happen.
And you were there in Tampa, so we'll see if it could replicate the success of the last one. Joey, match 3 out of 5 for you, my friend. Women's Tag Team Championships. Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez, the champs, versus the Kabuki Warriors, versus Charlotte and Alexa, versus Sol Ruka and Zarya.
Yeah, I'm pretty adamant on keeping it on the Judgment Day with Raquel and Roxanne because they have one of the best storylines set up for when Liv Morgan comes back. Right now, she's recovering from a shoulder injury that will take some time. What better way to have it when she shows back up and she sees that her title and her faction are now moving on because she's been MIA. Raquel's been slowly getting used to it, and I love Alexa Bliss and Charlotte, but that's a makeshift tag team for now. As JC mentioned earlier with the NXT tag team, they do some great things, but they're already doing it in NXT, so that will stay there. And then the Kabuki Warriors are not fresh to the program, but fresh to this segment that they're doing. So I'm going to keep it on the Judgment Day because I think it's building a great storyline for when Liv comes back.
I agree with that, and I love what Finn's doing with his character. The only thing that I'll push back on is if the WWE wanted to have a surprise return this on Sunday and put the Kabuki Warriors over with Paige returning.
Okay.
Then that is the only because she said she doesn't want to wrestle. She was just on the Chris Van Vliet interview. Great, he's amazing. But she's like, I want to take some time off between. But she is a free agent. But if she does,
she can sign anywhere right now.
Right. I mean, coming back and helping Kabuki Warriors get the belts. And again, you could still have the Judgment Day take them off them after, but for the shock factor, because it's Evolution, to get as many people as you want, maybe Paige comes out and that's what happens.
I like it. I'm fine with
it. AEW match at All In for the Trios title. AEW World Trios Champ. The Ops, which is Shibata, Powerhouse
just
Hobbs.
Added too, right?
Yup, just added to the card. And Samoa Joe versus the Death Riders of Claudio, formerly known as Cesaro, and Wheeler Yuta and Gabe Kidd. So that'll be a very fun match. Give me Samoa Joe and co. Joe. I want Joe. I love Samoa Joe, man. And as we said, he's one of those older wrestlers who probably doesn't have a lot of time left, right? I wouldn't put him quite in Goldberg's category, but he's not a spring chicken either. So let's hope Samoa Joe puts on a show and says, hey, ho, ho, Samoa Joe's got to go. So let's go Samoa Joe in the house tonight.
And All In has 12 matches, 3 pre-show matches, by the way.
Yeah, I think the Boom will be a pre-show one if I had to guess. Well,
I could actually tell you right now it is. It's the second pre-show match.
Was that one of the Casino Gauntlets, a pre-show match, the women's?
FTR versus the Outrunners is 1, Big Boom 2, and then Sons of Texas.
Sons of Texas is a pre-show one, I think, right?
Yeah, exactly. The Gauntlets are both on the main card.
So they literally, which, that's funny. I like it personally, but you could tell, hey, in the pre-show, let's just put as many motherfuckers as we can in the tag team matches. And we'll go from there because 2 of them are 8-man tags and 1 of them is a straight up tag. But that's a good way to get people involved. Speaking of involved, JC, any outside involvement in McIntyre or in the round out Saturday night main event?
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Randy Orton on SmackDown last night asked Jelly Roll to be in his corner. Or Jelly Roll said he'd be in his corner. So yeah, there's something's gonna.
I hope
Logan's gonna
Randy
come out.
RKO's the fuck out of him.
Oh yeah. It's gonna. Logan's gonna come out. Something's gonna happen. I mean, they're not in some podink town like Omaha, Nebraska. It's Atlanta, Georgia. Logan will be there. He'll cause some ruckus. Like I said, a lot of tomfoolery is going to happen tomorrow or tonight on Saturday night's main event. There's 3 matches where there's going to be some interference of some sort, and that's just what you do when you put these factions together on shows like this that are gonna with heel factions, and when you have guests coming in to guest wrestlers, and if you want to call Logan a guest wrestler, I wouldn't. I think he's a main roster wrestler, but that's what you have. Tomfoolery.
I agree, and that's the point of Saturday night main event. You want exciting things to happen because the world's watching, right?
Exactly.
It's on
NBC's
NBC,
watching. Get them in.
Exactly. Get them in, get them on, get them out, because those matches do move quick. Joey, Women's Intercontinental Championship. The man, Becky Lynch, the Chomp, versus Bayley versus Lyra Valkyria. Who say you?
Yeah, and this is by far, I know we talked about a little bit at the beginning with Rush storylines. This is not one of them. This has been one of the top storylines, if not the top storyline in women's wrestling that they've done a good job at, which surprised me, frankly, a little, because I always get a little nervous when they bring in new titles. But this has worked out really well from WrestleMania when Becky Lynch took Bayley's spot as a surprise. It is all coming full circle tonight. I think since Lyra got the last laugh on Monday Night Raw, she's out. And as much as I love Bayley, I think they might spin this where Bayley and Lyra go up for a few. So I think they keep it on the man, Becky Lynch, as she seems to be playing a really good heel role right now. Again, if you're looking for a good story and a good match, this is where you go in women's wrestling at the moment.
Yeah, that's going to be a phenomenal one, as we got a loaded wrestling show. That's tomorrow night, once again, 7 o'clock Eastern on Peacock, where the Atlanta Hawks play in Atlanta on the Cock. It's a beautiful stadium there in Atlanta.
Cock Network. Pat McAfee, my boy, always says it, just how it is.
John Moxley versus Hangman Adam Page in a Texas death match for the AEW.
Are they going to bleed out before there's a winner?
Moxley,
Moxley might literally, his face might be all red by the time it's all said and done. But a variant of the last man.
Stone Cold faced the shame.
For those unfamiliar, quick, the Texas death match is a variant of the last man standing match, and a winner must be pinned to a 3 count or submitted. Some of these matches have been known to last for hours, including one that Dory Funk Jr. participated in, and it lasted more than 4 hours. So very crazy stuff there. Who knows where this might go, but give me Mox over Hangman Page. I just think Mox is more fit for a Texas death match. Nothing against Hangman Adam Page. I do like him, but this is kind of Mox's home field court, right? His home field advantage here. But the belt could change hands at All In, and we could get Hangman Adam Page upsetting Mox for sure. As we get into the world of Great American Bash here for one match, we're on the final round of go-rounds before we get to our final words and breadwinners. There's a lot of wrestling to be had, which is good. It's good stuff right here. 3 o'clock Eastern today, JC. NXT's Great American Bash is live at the Center Stage Center in Atlanta. First time American Bash has been in Atlanta area since 1992. It's a sold-out show of around 745 people being in attendance there. Not a huge crowd, but it will be a loud, proud crowd ready to roll. JC Allen, Ethan Page, the champion, versus Ricky Saints, formerly Ricky Starks, coming over from All In, well, AEW, I should say, in a Falls Count Anywhere match for the NXT North American Championship, my friend. Who do you like there, the champ Ethan Page or Ricky Saints?
I'm glad you picked this one, and I think the tag team match between Grayson Monroe and Fatal Influence is going to be fun and set up for tomorrow at Evolution. This is one that I'm looking forward to probably the most on the card today. Both of these guys, especially Ricky Saints, he's main roster bound soon enough, but they've had a feud that's been going on for a couple of months now. And to see it kind of culminate in this Falls Count Anywhere after Saints went through the gauntlet to become the the number one contender and to get the stipulation. This, I think, is going to probably be the best match on the card. I think Ethan Page retains just because I think it's Ricky Saints coming up to the main roster sooner than him. But it should be a great match. I wouldn't be surprised if they put the title on Saints, but I think Page retains just because I don't think Saints is long term at NXT.
I love it, Joey. I know there's a couple women's matches left, but we're only going to go with one more here as we're just picking 5 because we could be here all day if we go
5 for 5 meal.
Every single match. Joey, this one is, well, we're not going to do the women's battle royal because you never know who the hell might win that. And I personally
Nikki
think
Bella.
I think Tiffy's going to beat Trish only because, I don't think Trish gets the belt back on here. So we'll go with the NXT Women's Championship, Joey. JC Jane against Jordan Grace from Impact. JC Jane is a champion heading into that battle of young phenoms.
Yeah, and a lot of people were surprised when newly champ JC Jane won it, but that was because Stephanie Vaquer moved up to the main roster, who is now also in the Battle Royal. I look forward to seeing her and Nikki Bella amongst many others there. But sticking to the task at hand, I do have a tough time with this one because they did bring Jordan Grace over from TNA Impact. And, to this point, she's come up more short than she has on top. And JC Jane, she's the champion, but she doesn't need to be a longtime champion right now as she's more new to this all. But there's going to be some interference. I could see Blake Monroe, formerly known as Maria May, who from NXT, she's going to also, I think, have a quick NXT run similar to Ricky Saints. I think she'll actually end up costing Jordan Grace, which will start a feud there. So I'll keep the title on JC Jane.
Yeah, the last one I'll close out with.
I agree. I think JC Jane retains. Whether it's Blake Monroe that causes interference or something like that. But I think there's other women you can put the title on after Lola Vice, Jada Parker, Lash Legend, all these girls you can have beat JC Jane, but I don't think Jordan Grace or Mariah May or whatever her name is now, Blake Monroe, they're gonna be down there long enough. I don't think you necessarily, like you did with Stephanie Vaquer, need to give them a title run in NXT just to do it. I think you can have them just go there, hone their skills, learn what the WWE likes that they want to do, and then put them up to the main roster. Plus, we've got the draft in a couple months. It's going to happen, I think, after Clash, or right before Clash, after SummerSlam. So, like, you're talking about a month and a half. If you're going to give Blake Monroe or Jordan Grace a reign, they don't need a month and a half reign.
I like your thoughts there, JC. I'll finish out my thoughts. Then we're going to get to final words, breadwinners, upcoming schedule, and an ode to Goldberg. A lot of good matches left, but I'm going to go with one that hasn't really been talked about that we brought up briefly. Sons of Texas versus Shane Taylor Promotions. I like Shane Taylor a lot, but Sons of Texas is Dustin Rhodes and Sammy Guevara, who I love. They also are joined by Marshall Von Erich, Ross Van Erich, and Kevin Von Erich. And Shane Taylor Promotions as Shane Taylor, Captain Sean Dean, Lee Moriarty, and Carly Bravo with Anthony Agojo. And Dustin Rhodes just signed a 6-year deal with AEW this past week, for those unfamiliar. I don't know. He said he's probably going to wrestle till he dies. He's going to be.
I just wanted to team up, once, before he was done. But whatever.
With Cody, yeah, I know.
I would have loved to see a little bit of team up, or even a match against each other.
Hey, you never know if that happens. Maybe a Forbidden Door is broken one day. But give me the Sons of Texas. Give me Dustin Rhodes, a legend. And I also like Sammy Guevara as well, one of the original pillars of AEW. So I'll take the Sons of Texas over the Shane Taylor Promotions. In a loaded wrestling weekend. You could catch it all this weekend. And you could catch the next Buccateers Wednesday at 5 o'clock Central, 6 o'clock Eastern. That's the night before Joey and I are AEW bound. It's going to be a cool AEW on Thursday. They're going to be in the Oregon Ballroom in Chicago, and that's where ECW used to be back in the day, where an old school feel type happened. So looking forward to that. So catch the next Buccateers 6 o'clock Eastern on Wednesday. We're going to be recapping the All-Star break. Looking forward to our AEW show, talking Bucs football and so much more. Right now we got Final words, breadwinners, and an ode to Goldberg. JCL, and quickly, ode to Goldberg. Give him a good goodbye, my friend. Or is this not goodbye?
Come on, cheer.
Goldberg.
Yeah, Goldberg was the man, like legit. Him and the Stone Cold match that we never got will go down as the biggest miss in, I think, wrestling history. But he's had a phenomenal career, depending on if you're like Goldberg for his wrestling. I always like Goldberg just for his character. I knew he wasn't a great wrestler. And I'm just hoping for a good ode to that tonight to cap off a career.
I love that, JC. Great stuff there. Joey, thoughts? Farewell to Goldberg, or is this not the end?
I agree with JC at the Stone Cold Goldberg. I also put Undertaker and Sting in that category of things we never got to see. But sticking with Goldberg, I mean, hey, for better or for worse, good pub or bad pub, WWE has had Goldberg enter the main event versus Lesnar at a WrestleMania where he won. He's also had Goldberg go over Bray Wyatt, the Fiend, at a Saudi show one time for the title. So right when you think Goldberg is done or he won't win, things never are the same. Of course, this is new leadership. I do think in his hometown of Atlanta, Georgia, with 10,000 plus fans sold out tonight, this will be the end. I just want to see the classics. I want to see a good jackhammer. I want to see a good spear. And, nothing too long, but in that 10 to 15 minute range, more towards 10 minutes.
And it's crazy. He had that 10 to 11 year hiatus in wrestling where a lot of people missed him. Again, we talked about NFL wrestlers earlier. He was an NFL player, right? On the Falcons, on the Rams. So here's a guy who's had a well-traveled career. Just nothing but the best wishes to Goldberg, to a man that Joey and I seen live on a Monday Night Raw who, he upset the Fiend. And a lot of people were upset about that. But I thought that was a good little twist. Only thing I don't like that Goldberg took away, again, something we missed in wrestling, was Kevin Owens, Chris Jericho main eventing WrestleMania. I put that feud up there as well that we missed because Goldberg came back, ultimately took the belt off KO, and then him and Jericho didn't get that opportunity to main event. But nonetheless, Goldberg will be missed. I don't think this is the end of him in wrestling, guys. I really don't. Maybe in WWE, but is it ever really the end? When can you ever really say it's the end for these guys? I mean, you never say never. That's all.
In ring, I think it's the end. In ring, I think it's the end.
Never say never. I think he's got one more match left in him. Is it in WWE? Is it in AEW? Time will tell. Is it in Legends of Wrestling where they give him $1 million just to show up for a 2-minute match? We'll see. I think I think it's the end of strong storylines for the big guy, but I don't think it's the end of the legendary Goldberg. I always remember, too. That just pumps you up, man. But what a
like with the security guards in the entrance, the fans will be, that will get the goosebumps for me.
One of the best entrances, theme songs, just for how basic it is. One of the best basic theme song entrances ever.
Don chooses Hulk Hogan, who ain't even wrestling this weekend, but him and Bischoff's promotion is, they're busy selling hundreds of tickets for their promotion.
Yeah, hundreds is the key. That's the issue.
I do love Hulkster, though. What are you going to do when Hulkamania comes running on you, brother? Hard to hate the Hulkster. But final word.
Unless you have any capacity for human decency, yes, it is hard to hate the Hulk.
Come on, man. He's a good guy. He's a good guy.
Okay. Good guy might be a stretch, Tones, and you know it.
He made a couple mistakes in the past, but haven't we all, man? Haven't we all?
MJF, I'm better than you, and you know it.
I don't think it's right to crap on Hulk Hogan. I just don't. I mean, without him, the wrestling company is nowhere near where it's at today. And, a lot of these wrestlers are scumbags. We could call it how we see it. So it's a sad truth, but that's why I'll always fight for the Hulkster. But neither near nor there. I got FTR. Joey's got MJF. I think JC Allen doesn't have Hulk Hogan. We could assume that. But
I'll have an LA Knight shirt on tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
JC, we're gonna do breadwinners quick. If you don't want to make a sports bet, that's okay. But Joey and I do breadwinners to update people. We're 34 wins, 15 losses on the season, and plus 326 net profit. And Joey, we only got 2 weeks left of this season because once preseason hits, we restart our record, we restart our money count. We went 1-0 in our first season. We're gonna go 2-0 here, so that'll be awesome. But Joey, breadwinner for the weekend, brother.
Yeah, the Dodgers have lost 7 in a row, but they have their stopgap today, not only on the mound, but batting Shohei Ohtani. They're minus 150. I think the bleeding stops for them as they play their rivalry Giants. It should be a good game at 4:05 Eastern, but give me the Dodgers minus 150 to break the 7-game losing streak.
Dodgers, I like that. JC, are you a gambling guy?
I'm not, but I'm going to take the under 8.5 on the Red Sox and Rays today.
Wow, I like that. JC going with his Red Sox in the under. I like that. Our Boston guy over there. So Red Sox, Rays under. Joey, you go with Dodgers money line. I thought somebody was going to pick a wrestling match. I really did.
I don't know. Where can you?
They usually throw up some like fake DraftKings lines, but I didn't.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it's not. You got to like type it in, and then on a website they usually like post some lines or something.
All right, well then I'm gonna take Gunther over Goldberg.
Wow,
Give me the free money.
Yep, you bet 100 to win $1.
Money.
Let's see. I'm gonna go with today. Give me, man,
$1 richer than I was before the $100 bet. There, Tones.
No, I agree, brother. Nothing wrong with that. Give me the Chicago Sky Gals at home plus 11.5.
Going WNBA to the
wow, we're digging deep this summer.
Deep pocket pull there.
Hey, give me the Chicago Barbie, Angel Reese. She'll be on the cover of 2K, whatever the fuck it is now, 2K26 or 27 or whatever the hell it is. So give me them plus 11.5 home against the Minnesota Lynx. Oh, Nenad from Serbia. Serbia loves the Buccaneers. Hey. There we go. We love our Serbian viewers. We will win all.
Yeah.
Yes, we will win all. Final word time for the program. JC Ellen, thanks for joining us, brother. Plug your work, of course, and give us your final words for a great wrestling weekend.
Let me talk to you. Yeah, thanks for having me on. Blast. I love talking Bucs, love talking wrestling. So,
and you love talking Hulk Hogan. That's clear now.
Let me tell you something, brother. Best of both worlds today. So appreciate you having me come on, even though it's a little last minute. How you do? But yeah. Pirate Parlay, my podcast. We talked about the Wirfs injury last week. What it's going to do this week, we'll have 2 shows. One previewing training camp battles on offense, training camp battles on defense, what to look for. Josh Grizzard, we're going to have him coming up soon.
That'll be a fun one.
With my offensive coordinators, get him a head coaching job. Whether they come on the podcast, they get a head coaching job. I don't know. Maybe
so. That means we're coming for your neck if he gets hired as a head coach.
If he does, then yes, you can blame me personally. I'm gonna have my training camp battle series out on Bucs Game Day. Got a few articles out there right now, just talking about Wirfs and some of these other things. Excited for a great weekend of wrestling. I need you to let me know where I can stream all in without having to pay the $50.
We got you.
Text us, DM me. I got you.
So I ain't paying $50 for it, but I definitely want to watch it. And then Superman. If y'all haven't seen Superman or thinking about reading the things like it's woke, I
want to see it.
Don't worry about it. It is a great movie. Superman is back. James Gunn is gonna James Gunn. That's all he does is put out bangers. Lots of good cameos and Easter eggs in it. It was awesome. At the end of the movie, the last 30 minutes, I was literally on the edge of my seat, just like with excitement, because Superman is back. The DC universe, as we know it, is back. It's not this boring origin story. We all know how Superman came and everything like that. It's comic accurate. It's just a really fun movie. It's a good movie. It's a grounded movie. And Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor was absolutely phenomenal. One of the best parts of the movie. So definitely go check it out. Don't listen to the critics. Don't wait to see it when it comes out. Check it out in the theater. Fantastic Four in 2 weeks going to be just as good. Can't wait for that too.
Yeah, I heard a lot of good things about Superman. I'm a Marvel cat myself.
Me
I
too.
like both. But
Same.
Me
you
too.
know.
I'm a Marvel guy. X-Men to my core. I grew up on the X-Men 97 and Spider-Man and Batman. And there really wasn't a good Superman cartoon or show growing up that I watched. So I grew up on X-Men. I grew up on Spider-Man and Batman. And then obviously, got to know the Avengers when they came through the MCU, and really just always been a Marvel guy. But there's a lot of good characters in DC that deserve to be gone through character-wise. And
yeah, you take me for a Catwoman guy. I'm gonna go ahead and.
Oh yeah, you're definitely a Catwoman guy. You definitely are. I like Wonder Woman. I like Wonder Woman. Tall Amazonian woman. Throw me around a little bit. How you do? How you don't?
Keep it moving. How you doing?
Joey, final word for the program, brother.
I'm excited to hear that in Superman because I definitely wanted to see that. Number one. Number two, if you are looking for even more wrestling talk than you got here, go to @CleveandMe on Twitter, wherever you find your podcast, Spotify, all that, because we have a all-in preview show from a few days. Actually, just yesterday was dropped with Tones, Truly, and J-Lo on there, and then a couple days back with my partner Cleve for all the WWE coverage and more. So stay tuned at Cleve and Me for all the great wrestling talk, because we're less than 3 hours away now. And then on top of all that, I'm just getting excited. This is probably the last show we do where it's not mainly football, as we get 3 weeks away from the first preseason game and 10 days away from training camp. So I'm going to hunker in. Hopefully Cubbies get a win today against the Yankees. That was not good yesterday. And I'm going to enjoy it all wrestling. I got my stuff done. I'm a single guy. So for me, it is all wrestling all night long.
JC, let's hope you could actually make a Cleve and Me every time we put the invite out there. You run away. So.
I hear him saying it.
Yeah, look at him. No invite. I think he left the chat maybe or the building. But JC,
I'm here.
All right. Well,
I had to go to the comment section because I couldn't. I went to YouTube real quick to throw it in there.
Hey, join us Tuesday or Thursday on Cleve and Me. We'll have
let me know.
We could do a whole post cap show on all these damn things. You could choose.
We can't do Thursday actually, but
we have.
Let's do Tuesday. I'm good.
Tuesday. Mark it, book it, done.
What time? You guys are on
Tuesday, 5:45 Eastern, 6 Eastern.
Yeah, that's perfect. Bang,
Let's do it.
All right. We'll write it down. JC Allen joining Cleve and Me.
Cleve and Me.
Let's go. Might have to boot Cleve.
Yeah, you can take a cigarette break during that portion of the show. That would work perfect.
I mean, he'll be able to take multiple breaks when it's my turn to talk.
Yeah, I might not be needed for that one, JC. I love it though, man. That's what makes it great. Yeah, we're definitely gonna open up with some Hulkamaniac talk on that.
Oh, Jesus, again.
Give it a special, But hey, well, the man's crying. I got to give him what he wants. No invite once again.
Maybe I'll get some real American beer to drink on the
Oh, brother, now you're bricking me up, brother.
Dude, I'll get a broken skull session.
Broken maybe Tones, you gotta get some Wheatley then. Wheatley. Good, I drink it weekly.
We're just gonna have all the wrestling fine spirits. We'll go with that. But fellas, it's been incredible. Once again, loaded wrestling weekend, Great American Bash, AEW All In, the flagship show of AEW. It's going to be awesome. Then you got Saturday night main event and WWE Evolution for the first time in years. You got Bucs Creamsicles returning to team stores in a matter of moments, days, I should say. You got Tristan Wirfs injury news and so much more. But Joey Nips, JCL, and Tampa Tones to J-Lo, Bucs by 30, and the rest of the guys that couldn't make it. We are the Buccateers. Enjoy your wrestling weekend, fellas. Enjoy your sports weekend. Once again, Chicago Sky plus 11.5, Rays, Red Sox under, and Dodgers money line will win you some money this weekend. Enjoy your wrestling. What are you going to do when the Buccateers comes running for you, brother?
Yeah.
Weekend, woo! What a way to end it. Bro, we'll put it like that.
Nice.
What's it like? I was actually there in attendance in Cleveland for Coe's first career NFL touchdown, which was awesome. And,
That was awesome.
it was a great game. You could hear me on camera. I was just screaming, "Say it ain't so, Coach! Say it ain't so!" Sadly, from there, the game kind of went off the rails a little. That was the last high moment of that game, but it was a great game. Overtime loss, fun time. But how was that moment for you? Seeing the first, whether it was on TV, in person, wherever you were, seeing his first NFL touchdown. How was that?
Well, dude, I mean, we were at home because it was a away game. We don't travel to a lot of the away games because we can get into that later. But, to watch that and to think I wished I was there live. So to have your video was so cool. And just say, this is so cool. I mean, that was so cool for us. Catching it from Tom Brady, right? Like, he's got the ball yet. I mean, first NFL touchdown means a lot, right? I mean, as a dad, that's just so cool to see. And it was fun to watch. And, it didn't have the outcome we wanted, but still the same. What a memory! What a memory to have, right? So,
and honestly,
cool.
those. One of the best guests ever, the Buccateers in the house tonight. You guys hear him on Tampa radio all the time. He's one of the best in the business. My favorite personal in the business. That's why I'm elated tonight. Growing up in the Chicago area, you're used to sports radio. That's what gets me through the day. So this man does help get me through the day, I will say, with the Pat and Aaron show at work. Nothing like it. So it's incredible. It looks like we got Stunna bumbling in. I'm Tampa Tones. We are joined by lead goon tonight, host of the Pat and Aaron show of WDAE, Pat Donovan. And it sounds like Stunna is bumbling a little bit. Going to put him on mute for a second until that gets a little cleared. But we're joined by Pat Donovan.
It looks like Stunna's hanging out with Cheech and Chong in a car with the windows up or something over there.
It does look like you got a little...
No, my camera's broke.
And he was trying to pull me in big time. And then I was like, nothing's happened with Indianapolis yet. Like, I really want to give Indy a chance. And then also I talked to Cody Bruton, once he took over Rich McCann, I'm still like, well, look, I was like, y'all just give me the opportunity to explore free agency, see what's going on, and then can I make it do it.
All right, everyone, you are tuned into the Buccateers at wide receiver, Kalen Geiger, and we are about to have a great pod. This is the Buccateers, your